tonight we're in the candle lights and we're doing a haunted tarot reading. It's around about 12:52. I'm gonna wear my glasses because I can't actually see. The I'll get the card. What it's called. Okay, we got what follows me, which is this card. It's called the Seven of Wands. Is the expected God, a liberator, deliverer from enemies, both visible and invisible. It could be an ancestor, an ancestral spirit. This. Now, how to leave it behind, this ancestral spirit, which is this card. Which is called the Four of Wands, which is completion. Now this card is called the rectification, help, and to live in peace with everybody. Now this could be the Messiah card, could be Jesus. Now why would I give up my ancestral protection for Jesus? It's basically saying that I need deliverance and I should go to Jesus. That's what it says. Aries needs deliverance. Whether that's an Aries that doesn't believe in God, is an atheist. But I am also an Aries. Then it says, what troubles me? What troubles me is the High Priestess. She's also could be some sort of witch or some sort of pastor or nun. But I know none. I know nobody. I personally just hang out with covers. So it's probably another witch. The witch was. I'm not sure if she feels that I'm her competition. How to resolve it? I picked up the name Orly Stewart, so I don't know if she watched my channel and she thinks that I'm her competition for some reason. It says how I'm going to resolve this problem is to summon the angel of death on her. Basically, she don't do Norse magic, right? So she'll probably have a lot of enemies. If she wants to go bitching around, she's going to be bitching with the wrong person. Because a lot of not everything I do, I put it online. I only put it, I only put on certain things online because I think it might help someone like me in my situation. You know what they call parallel lives, and especially if they're of Russian origin. So, what keeps me up at nights is these motherfuckers. Actually, it's heartburn. I don't know if she's doing some rituals, right? But I get really, really bad heartburn in the middle of the night. I have to eat mint ice cream. Not that it's good for the waistline or anything like that. So they're summoning their Hebrew spirits or whatever to just torment me in the night. Also Aries. Okay, and the other one was how to rest easy, which is I think it's this card. I can't remember. It's this seek some sort of wisdom of the situation. I had to outsmart them basically. Yeah, I basically need to be wiser than them. But Aries needs to be wiser than them. And there's other things that you can do. You can do sickle magic to counteract its sort of attack. You could also use different magical system from them. So all they're doing is basically sending the angel of death current to anything that makes me happy. Right? That's what they're doing. So if I lose weight, I'll be happy, right? And they don't want that to happen. That's why I'm overweight for decades. I tell you what, I've been with that coven for about 16 years. Become a living god. With the in and Orly Stewart and all the other Satanists in America. And what I do is I summon storms all the time. They end up hitting Texas. I don't know if they all hang out down there. Elon Musk is also there, and Jeff Bezos, the Amazon founder, and everybody knows billionaire Elon Musk. Yeah. So they're in the kind of aftermath of all this witch wars between Become a Living God, me, and their associates, Michael W. Ford. I don't know why they're against me so much, right? They don't like my surname, and I tell them that my father is not from Spain. And to hound an entire family just because of the surname is wrong, it's immoral. And I said, if you want to do that to me, right, I live in Britain. I was born in Britain. I was raised in Britain. I said, if you want to confront me, I said, some of my friends are British, well, associates are British soldiers. And I said, well, if you want to have a war with me, then you got a good one, because I've said I've learned from the best. I've learned from the best witches in the British military. So they haven't got nothing on me, because I can really mess up their life. Yeah. And that's how they, the British military, mess up people's lives. They don't use demons. They use Norse magic and they use signal magic. So, and I think what they can do, they can really confuse your mind. And it can let you start hallucinating and really mess you up, right? They're not concerned about your happiness or anything. It's your mentals they mess about with your mind. The British military. So, and they make you hallucinate as well. So you don't know if you're coming or going, basically. That's how they confuse their enemy in the war. In the war zone things where they go to, they make sure their enemy is very confused before they even go there. I don't talk to her anymore, but we were friends before, and then we were quite good friends actually, really close. And I met her on Etsy. Oh no, on eBay I met her. And funny enough, she was called Kim. I don't know. Everyone who seems that I look up to are called Kim for some reason, and or admire. And um, she started telling me how to defend yourself, and then she was telling me about how much she hates Donald Trump, and she said, I'm going to make sure I mess up his life. She said because he's beyond toxic. That's what she told me. She said he's beyond toxic, and I'll make sure I'll ruin his life. And I think Melania Trump's going to ruin his life. I think she's going to end up becoming into some sort of Lilith. You know Lilith, the goddess Lilith? She's going to end up being like that. And she's going to step down on her husband. She's really going to put him under a chain. Yeah, she's going to end up dominating him. And he's going to end up bowing to her, because apparently they don't have a prenuptial agreement when they got married. So she's going to be a right little bully. I think he bullied her for like 30 years. So now she's going to say, well, okay, I'm going to take my power back from you. And she's going to kind of sort out all her enemies, because a lot of people, they don't like her because she's not from America. She's from Eastern Europe, and she's going to sort them all out. And she's going to take her husband's power, and she's going to be writing down all the stuff that she wants in her life, because she has become Lilith. And she's going to say, well, I rule this country, and my husband doesn't, because there's so many problems in this country that I have for myself, and he's not dealing with it. And there's so many problems women have in America, and he's still not doing it because he doesn't want to help women. In fact, Donald Trump is against women, because all the women who are homeless on the road, he doesn't care about them. And most of them are actually veterans who are homeless. And those veterans, they're just projecting all their anger on Trump at this moment in time and saying, well, you know, those 10 million that he plans to deploy in Iran, when they're going to come back, they're going to come back disabled and they're going to be thrown out the army and they're going to end up being homeless on the streets of America. And Donald Trump is just going to laugh. And they're going to feel, and the public are going to be outraged that all these veterans who are now crippled and disabled because they weren't there, they said we'd rather take the draft than go to prison. In fact, they should have been to prison because they'll have their health at least. So I would say, if your ancestors are protecting you, stick with your ancestors and not with this Abrahamic religions. Because when your ancestors were living, these religions didn't exist. Some people say it's paganism, some people say that it's unreligious, unclean religion. The Norse magic concentrates on the family circle, strengthening your family circle, your income, your health, your love, your romance, your family life, your marriage life. I mean, what is evil about that? Just, I guess, maybe being selfish, being self-centered. Well, at the end of the day, outside my front door, no one cares about me. Yeah, unless you've got a team of doctors who work with you every day and they say, well, they haven't come to work today, I wonder what happened to them. And they're concerned about your welfare because you're their friend, you help them in the workplace. But when you're just walking down the road, no one really cares. All you have is your family behind you, your friends who are like family, and your Norse religion and your spirit guides and your ancestors. So if anyone said to me that, yeah, it's all wrong, you know, and Jesus is this and Jesus is that, I said, at the end of the day, if you went through what I have experienced in my life for the last 6 years after my son died, if I believed in Jesus, I tell you what would have happened. I would have been homeless, and I would have been either in a coffin or dead in my home or commit suicide. So, I mean, you know, when people are overwhelmed, right, they do weird stuff, right? Let's be honest, let's be realistic. So I tell you now that Jesus wasn't with me when my son died. It was only the demons of the Shemhamphoresh that were with me, 72 demons in the Kabbalah. At that time I didn't pray to Lilith. I had to study a whole heap of stuff after my son died, and vampirism from those on Etsy. And I tell you what, even the people that helped me on Etsy, they went through some weird stuff. And you know, if I'm attacked that badly, I don't know why. Maybe because of my name, maybe because of my future, what I would be in 5 years' time, 1 year's time. What's my destiny got to do with someone else? Everybody has a chance to study. My choice was to study. My choices were to do my videos. My choices were to do my videos the way that I do them. So when the spirits help you in your life with practical help, yeah, when you're asking them, well, I've got this problem in my life, how am I going to resolve this problem? And then they say, do this sort of ritual, carry this charm, learn hypnotism, learn how to hypnotize people to help you, learn how to do charms for people to want to help you. If someone likes you, or they love you, or they fancy you, or they are seduced by you, yeah, they're more willing to help you. It's weird. So it's like when people give you a job, they're not giving you the job because they want to give you the job, because you've got the best qualifications that the university's provided you with. They actually give you the job because they want to date you. That's why they give you a job. Or they fancy you, right? So people have some really weird stuff going around their head when they're giving you a job. Or some of them can actually be gay, and they probably say, well, I prefer the guy more than the woman. So then you're in a, I don't know, certain times when you the way that you dress can be intimidating as well. If you power dress, you can sometimes intimidate the manager. One manager told me on a job interview, he said, you don't deserve to be paid. I said, okay, you don't deserve to have my time. And I said to him, how on earth do you expect me to pay my bills if I'm not paid any money? He was a very obnoxious guy. His name was called Raj. And I'm like, wondering, God, does he know that I'm a witch? I think their company went bankrupt anyway. I have a spell I haven't done yet, which is called respect. When people think that your time is worth nothing, they're in so much trouble. They believe your time is nothing. They believe that you are worthless, not worth the time of day. I tell you, people like that are so toxic. Well, thank God for the left-hand path and witchcraft to give them some sort of discipline. My friend who was in the army, she said that her curses she does it with the Norse runes. She said that is more powerful than Demon Bale. So I think she's in foreign intelligence now, MI6. I think she was in Iraq for quite a long time, and in Afghanistan, and it got sort of messed up with her mind. But I think she was in frontline. That's why she's a little bit messed in the head. So, because she did frontline stuff, but she went into MI6. So, I guess it was worth it. But she's taught me some really secretive protection spells, and I said, okay, that will just totally destroy them. It's more powerful than a return to sender spell, and that I do it for people that I really care about. But it's 11:18. I've got to shut this thing down now. But Aries, you stay safe. Got too many enemies around you. The witches want to pull you down. If you are an Aries and you're a seer, you're a witch, you're a psychic, I tell you, you've got to watch your back, because there's someone who wants to pull you down, and it may be Satanists. So, because they're just bitter people, right? Some people are just so bitter. And like this really nice South Korean woman. I think she's a woman. I don't think she's a teenager. You know, Kim Pro. You know, she's got so much of light in her soul. It comes out in her videos. That she's just a fun, bubbly person to be around with. And she is, you know, you can sort of feel that energy around her when you watch her videos. And she's a really nice energy to be around with. If anytime you feel a bit down, just go watch Kim Pro. She'll make you happy, make you smile, and it's all about positivity. As I said, on a psychic line that I used to work with, they said it's all about being positive, and you know, focus on the good things in life, but defend yourself from the dark. You know, the basically it's a bullying energy. They're bullies, like school bullies in the playground when you were a child. They like bullying people for fun because they have a excuse me, they have an inferior complex, right? They feel inferior, so they have to bully someone to feel empowered. Because mummy never cared about them. You know, they all have mother issues. They've got either mother issues or father issues from their childhood, and it's all childhood trauma that they need to heal. Because that's what it boils down to. When they're always begrudging others people, oh, this one has started up now, and you know, they think that they can do this and they think that they can do that. So if they want to be two bitches, yeah, this warlock I know, he's called Michael W. Ford. If he wants to bitch about me behind my back and thinks I don't know it, I know it. I know he's bitching about me behind my back. That's why I email him. Because I know that he's a bitch. You know, in fact, he should wear the long hair and the lipstick and the makeup and the eyeshadow. Because that's what he is. He's a spiteful woman. And he's acting like it. You know, I've never heard of a man gossiping about another woman. Yeah, a man gossiping about another woman who's a psychic. I've never heard about that. I mean, it's usually women that gossip about women, not men gossiping about women. So, anyway, I don't know if I should waste my mince on him tonight. Yeah, go mince his brains up. Anyway, it's I think he might. You know what I could do? I could turn his friends against him, and yeah, I could do that. I could make his friends even. Um, be madly in love with him. His male friends. Yeah, I could make his male friends be madly in love with him, to lust after him. Yeah, I could turn them that way round to be gay. So they have some gay thing going on, right? That's what I could do. I could turn all his friends gay. And it wouldn't like that. That is beyond their capacity to think like that. But yeah, some people do that. I did it to my doctor because she was just so mean and horrible to me. So I turned her gay to go and run after another doctor to make them have a kind of affair in a clinic because she was really horrible to me. So she would never help me. So I said, okay then, I'll make you fall in love with that doctor, and that doctor will fall in love with you, and then you'll fall out. So now that doctor is actually a lesbian now. So she's been that way inclined for about 10 years. And I actually stay away from her because I think she is some sort of very controlling, masculine lesbian now. So I tend to just stay away from her, and I think she does a lot of this voodoo thing as well to try and get me back into her good books, and I don't want to know this. Because the spirit guide might have told her that, you know who did this to you? Who made you turn into a lesbian? It's your patient. Yeah, she's a real sinister witch. So, it's not all death spells, you know, to mess someone's life up. It's not all death spells. To mess up someone's life, it could be so many different things. From climate change, which was probably the easiest, elemental magic. I mean, can you imagine your best friend is male? If you're that guy, that warlock, and he's having a drink with his mates, and his mate tells him, I really, really like you. And he said, yeah, I like you too. And then he says, no, I mean, I want to have sex with you right now. And then he's in a shock. And then he says, he says to him, uh, I don't think we should do that. And then he says, well, you don't like me. You know, he gets into his gay little attitude, and he ends up doing something to her. Sorry. It just seems so funny. No, because I said that these people deserve it. They've been handing me for decades. They don't stop. And even though my son died because of them, I said they don't stop. They're just on some sort of sick vendetta. Anyway, I got another mate in the US Army. He's really high ranking. He says, I'll sort them out for you. No worries. We'll just deploy everybody up to the age of 67. And that will sort them out. He said, yeah, we'll add some piranha fish to the training, swimming pools, and see how they get out of that. I said, probably most will die during military training. I have a lot of friends in very high positions of power. So, yeah, I'm not just anybody. You know, they think they think I don't know anyone. They think that I'm alone. No, I got no family. I don't know anyone. I said they really haven't got the faintest clue who I am. So that's why I said I have had a friend in the military in the USA. He's very high, in a very senior position. He's been my friend since 2008. It's going like 20 years. He doesn't want to retire. He says there's no point in retiring. He says at the moment, and no one's even paid a salary if you're a civil servant. He said Donald Trump, there's something wrong with him. It's like since Elon Musk was talking to him to enslave everyone and not pay them a salary, it's like gone for that. And I said, well, you know, if you're a war criminal, there's no country on earth that's going to let you become a refugee. So I said, you've got to stay clean and not do anything you're not supposed to do. I mean, he's a teacher, but I said that if they want to deploy you somewhere and it's going to hinder you from seeking asylum in another country or seeking asylum in Switzerland, then you better stay clean. And learn a second language like French. So you can go to France or you can go to Switzerland. Because I think they're more supportive. Or even if you go to Spain, Spain's staying neutral. They don't want to go into this World War III thing. So you can learn Spanish. That would help the situation too. I'm praying against this World War III because I don't want to be blown up. I don't want other people being blown up. I don't want the wildlife and nature to be extinct. Because I'm thinking there probably will be a massive food famine for at least half the world if Trump's ideas are successful. At least half the world is going to be without food, and we rely on the Asian countries for our food supply. So rice is, most of the restaurants in Britain serve rice, so rice will be kind of very expensive to buy, and you know, a lot of people are going to be unemployed because they don't have the restaurants. Wheat will go very high in price. That prices of wheat will go higher and higher. Uh, because wheat, some of it comes from Asia. You know, like the Weetabix. Not all of it is from American wheat. So they get the wheat from Asia. They don't tell you what's in the products. They don't tell you where it's from. You know, like the cucumbers that I buy, they're from Spain. If Spain was bombed by, say, Iran, if Spain was bombed by Iran, because if Spain, just say if Spain supported Donald Trump and they were bombed by Iran, the supermarkets, Lidl and Sainsbury's and Iceland, they wouldn't have cucumbers. And I wouldn't have no food because that's what I eat. I eat cucumbers and tomatoes and tortilla bread because I'm on a very strict diet. So I don't eat starches because I'm trying to lose weight, because I said that I need to change my diet, what I eat, to lose the weight. So if all I'm eating is fresh vegetables, then you know, I won't actually have any food to eat if that happens. So it's a good thing that Spain did support Donald Trump. So at least I get my Spanish tomatoes and cucumbers to eat because it's my food. And my own GP didn't even put me on a diet to just say, well, this is what you should be eating. So I had some sort of advice from someone close and dear to me. I think everybody knows that it's a Roman. So yeah, his advice was cucumbers and tomatoes, salads, work out, do the protein shake, and just keep on exercising, and it will burn off the fat. There's no magic wand, it's just exercise. The body just generates heat and the fat melts when you're exercising. and what you put in your body as well, because if you fill up on cucumbers, right, it has no fats. When you're hungry, if you fill up on cucumbers, it's got no fat whatsoever, then the body has to burn the fat that's in the body to use it for fuel. Or something like that. I can't remember everything like that. So hopefully by September I should have lost maybe 48 pounds. So then I could breathe better. Okay then, I'll see you then. See you on the next one. Bye.